Good morning, my sunshines. Happy Tuesday. Today I'm going to share with you three concepts that are pretty straightforward. I think that you're going to pick up on this very easily. First things first, we're going to reflect on intersecting lines. Remember, intersecting lines are lines that cross. They meet at a point. One point, they intersect. Okay? So the cool thing about intersecting lines is they always have one solution. The easiest way to find a solution for two lines that cross is find the point where they meet. So let me show you these two equations. So we had y equals 2x plus 1 and y equals negative 1x plus 1. These are actually graphs of these two equations. So let's look at them. Y equals 2x plus 1. Remember, when you graph a line, you go to the y-intercept, which is the b. Y equals mx plus b, remember? So you put your point at 1. And then I would rise and run my slope up 2 over 1, and that's the graph of this top equation here. The bottom equation says y equals negative 1x plus 1. So again, you would plot your b, which is 1. From there, you go down 1 over 1 for your slope, connect your points, and graph your line. So if it asks you what is the solution for the two intersecting lines, it's really simple. You just find the point where they intersect or they cross. So in this case, the point where the lines intersect is my ordered pair. So I remember I walk on the x-axis first, so I go to 0 because the point's above me. So 0, and then I would go up 1. So 0, 1 would be a solution to these two equations. And if I wasn't sure if I was right, I could actually plug in 0 for x and 1 for y and see if each equation is true. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 would give me 1. Here, if x was 0, negative 1 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 would be 1. Okay, so again, intersecting lines have exactly one solution, the point where they cross. All right, let's look at some other kind of lines. Excuse me. Parallel lines. We've talked about parallel lines. Remember, we said the L's in the word parallel are parallel. Parallel lines are lines that never meet. That means they're always going to be the same distance apart from each other. They will never ever cross. Because they don't cross, you will know that parallel lines will have no common solution. Meaning there's no number I could plug into this equation, no ordered pair I could plug into this equation that would work for this equation and make it true. So because of that, we say parallel lines have no solution. Parallel lines will never intersect, so there's no solution. Pretty straightforward. Now, there's one other type of lines that if we were to graph, lines that are drawn on top of each other have infinite solutions. Well, there's a couple things we need to talk about. We don't know what the word infinite means. And what do you mean lines drawn on top of each other? I only see one line here. Actually, this is two lines. There's blue and red. You just can't see it because the colors blended together. But if I were to graph two equations that are the same, that means they would rest on top of each other. So here's my two equations over here. I had y equals 1x minus 1 and 2y equals 2x minus 2. And you look at that and you go, well, wait a minute, those equations aren't the same. But in reality, they are, because this bottom equation, we have to solve it for y first. Remember, we always want our equations in y equals mx plus b form. So to solve for y, I just needed to divide everything by 2 to get the y alone. And then you see I would get y equals 1x minus 1. So actually these two equations would give me the same graph. So if the two lines are lying on top of each other, that means they're crossing all of these solutions. All of these points on those lines are actually solutions to both equations. What does infinite mean? Infinite means that the number of solutions goes on forever. Imagine this line goes all the way on forever and ever. So every teeny little point that these two lines cross are solutions to both equations. So I get the same equation, so both lines will share unlimited solutions, which is what we call infinite. Okay, so again, if the lines are on top of each other, every little point they cross is a solution to both equations. Sometimes equations will look different, but remember you have to simplify them first. So again, we had infinite solutions when lines are on top of each other. We had no solution when lines are parallel because they'll never ever cross. And then lastly, we had intersecting lines have one solution. And remember, the solution is an ordered pair. So you would walk to X would be 0 in this case, and take the elevator up to 1. So you would say your ordered pair is 0, 1. I'm attaching another video. Please watch that too. I think that you will have an easy time on today's assignment. I hope you are well. I miss you guys tons. I hope you're staying home and staying safe. All right. See you soon. Bye.